Welcome to the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be back. I know you guys missed me and Phil last week. Sorry to do that to your fans, but we're back and we're ready.
All right, and back again, my captain, Captain Phil Ruxy. Man, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's been 2 weeks for me that I've been out, but it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to be back. And we had a fun week in the KDFL. We have a little trick or treat options today. Obviously, you could tell something's going on with me. We'll hit on that too. But first, let's go ahead and review. Let's go ahead and review Week 7 in the KDFL.
Yes, we start out with your Melbourne Mega Powers taking on the South Hills Evil Empire and our evil commissioner, who has stacked his team evilly as usual. He destroyed you, Brett, 291 to 190. Your offense is just weak across the board. I hate picking on you, but the team is it's pretty much garbage. No offense. Evil Empire they were just good across the board. Only a couple players under 10 points. So they take you down. They're now 6-1 on the season and first in their division.
All right, and next we head to Kanawha County, where the Kings welcome in the Reeling Marmet Midnight Riders. Eckler scores 37 for the Midnight Riders. Neal on defense with 24. Another defensive player, David Long Jr. with 21. On the other side, the Kings have Josh Jacobs with 36. Juju Smith-Schuster with 25. And Okereke, I can never pronounce that right, with 19 on defense. The Midnight Riders scored 225 over the Philadelphia line, but it was not enough as the Kings scored 236 to get the win, and the Midnight Riders moved to 2-5 on the season.
Next, we have the 6-0 Dogtown Dobermans hosting the Poker Pharmacists. Joe Burrow and Tyler Boyd light up that Atlanta secondary for 72 combined points. Ramondre Stevenson continues to ball out with 27 of his own for the Pharmacists. Even Mike Evans pours in 19, and DeAndre Hopkins in his first game back pours in 20. But it's not enough, as Walker had 17 for the Dobermans, and they eke out to remain undefeated at 7-0 as they beat the Pharmacists 217 to 212.
Next, we have the Cross Vegas Gamblers heading south to take on the Nocatee Zen Masters, the surprising Zen Masters. Cross Vegas struggling this year with their quarterback, Tom Brady, only getting 12 points. But that man, Daniel Dime Jones, 30 points. Rokon Smith was 28. But it wasn't enough as the Zen Masters getting big games from his defense, Isaiah Simmons, and Sauce Gardner. We talked about him a little bit this week. Could be MVP of the league. For defense this year. Rookie of the year, I'm sorry. As his defense leads him to a 4-3 record and in the playoff hunt.
All right, and next we're heading to Hurricane, where the Hurricane Wampus Cats welcome in Detroit's Elkview River Rats. The Wampus Cats had Kenneth Walker, who scored 29. I guess he knew what he was doing making that trade, making the pretty solid trade to get Kenneth Walker, because we all know how Hall's doing right now. Justin Herbert with 21 and Kyler Murray with 18. On the other side for Detroit's River Rats, Mostert with 22, Williams with 21, and Davis Mills with 19, and his long neck and all. The River Rats get the win here, 245 to 222, and a little bit of an upset, I feel like.
Yeah. Finally, we have our game of the week. The Renegades are hosted by Phil's Wake Forest Lumberjacks. It's a battle of 3-3 teams. Tua, welcome back. He pours in 17, was actually the high scorer for the Renegades, oddly enough. Aaron Jones scores 29 as the Packers finally realized that they need to get their best playmaker the ball more. Jonathan Taylor pours in 15, and that will do it. Somehow, in our ugliest game of the week so far this year, the Renegades get an ugly win, 182 to 174. And they improved to 4-3, and that is it for KDFL Week 7. All right, fellas.
Woo!
That might be the ugliest game of the
quite
week
the
we've ever
week.
had.
Yeah, that was odd.
Combined points, it might be. Combined points, it has to be up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what do we want to do first? You want to just rip the Band-Aid off for me?
Yeah, we have to talk about it. I mean, usually I give you crap about your favorite team and players, but this was big news this week, and it's kind of sad. So I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Look, we have our Matt Ryan Memorial patch on. We have the jersey. Look, we got the news. He's benched. It's somewhat because of an injury why he was playing bad. I know the benching's not injury related, but it kind of is because it's the contract related that if he is unable to pass the physical, he gets more guaranteed money. I have a lot of anger in my heart right now. I have a lot of, I want to cast blame. This is the end. I mean, is this really the end, you think?
Oh,
You think this is the end?
Oh,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah, it's over.
What?
It's done.
What has
It's
happened?
been building. It's been building
He
for
was-
a few years. I mean, he hasn't.
It's
been good.
not been building.
He's on my fantasy team. I know if it's been building or not.
I blame that great value version, Gabriel Brothers version of a franchise in Indianapolis of the Packers. That's all they are, is a great value version of the Packers, Walmart brand, because they get carried by a couple of elite quarterbacks. Other than that, they are garbage. They haven't won anything. Frank Reich got to go. Chris Ball got to go. We were promised protection. Now he's getting killed, and now the career is over. I know. So, fellas, if this is really it, we need to take a moment. I need you all to remove your caps, please.
We're gonna get a
Remove
big
your caps.
blind spot.
Move your
Or-
caps. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get it going right here. I got the memorial. Hold on. Hold on.
Can't even light it.
It's
Mhm.
tricky, man. It did not put the flame through the TV. There is a flame through the screen. Look. Thank you all. Thank you.
I can put my
Now,
hat back on. All right. Thanks.
All right.
in the arms of an angel. Okay.
Woo.
So
Are you okay?
now,
Are you okay?
this cannot be how it ends, but I don't see how it's not how it ends.
Well, he's not going
Like-
to play unless he gets cut, which I don't think they're going to be able to
I
financially.
don't think they could cut him.
Yeah.
But he's not going to play again. Sam
All right.
Ellinger could go out there and get hurt, and it's going to be Foles because
Yeah,
of this
because
injury clause
the-
and how bad he was
The
getting beat up.
incentives and all that. Yeah.
We were promised protection. They were promised one of the best O lines all the time in the world to throw. Now, I mean, you ready for me? You know how like you have that person that can't let go? Are you ready for my can't let go scenario?
All right. Let's hear it.
There is a team. There is one team out there. I don't think it can work money wise. So let me just get that out here. We're going to act as if money is not a thing in this scenario because I don't know. I don't think it can work, but I've been surprised before. There's exactly one team out there that is ready to win this year, right now, who has a coach who was never better than when he had Ryan, and Ryan was never better than when he was his coach. The system will pick up and take off running. The current QB doesn't seem like he has enough to get him over the hump. That's right. Matt Ryan should be traded to San Francisco. It fits. It fits perfectly. They'll scheme it to where he gets the ball out quick. He won't make these Jimmy G cannot get him over the hump. It's obvious now. Come on. It's obvious now. The team is loaded to the gills. I don't know if Ryan could, but
I don't
know.
think
But that to me is the only way out of this.
he looks shot though. I mean, he just does not look good.
He was getting destroyed, sir.
Okay. Well, I just don't think he's got it left in him.
This cannot be the way that a Hall of Fame career ends. And yes, I said it. Yes.
Well, that's usually-
don't.
I mean,
Don't.
guys don't
Listen.
usually get the hey, I'm going to walk off a top while I'm on top. So
Yeah.
they're usually struggling to stay in the league.
He's going to end sixth all time in sixth or seventh all time in passing yards, right behind Phillip Rivers. And I know the Hall of Fame argument. My only thing with the Hall of Fame is I feel like the consensus is that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer, and somehow that's not the consensus with Ryan. And I will fight to the death for if Phillip Rivers gets in somewhat easily, no chance. Now, if you want to say they're both iffy and they're both maybe,
Yeah.
that's fine. But that's what I'm comparing to.
Yeah, I was thinking neither one
Well,
of them really consensus, are they? I mean, I don't know.
To me, the NFL, he's going to get in because the NFL puts in a ton of people anyways.
That's true.
It's not really what it should be. I think he should be great. And I'm not saying I think Matt Ryan
It's a longevity play.
He's
It's
very, very good over his career. I just don't look at him as, I don't even want to say, I want to say like elite.
Right.
He is a franchise quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
It would be a very, very solid for a very long time type of deal. Not this guy blew away the league type of induction.
I feel like he had a couple of
We will keep the candle that you cannot see. He did.
But look at it.
We will keep the candle that you very much cannot see lit during this episode.
We're going to have the same argument, I think, when it's time for Stafford to retire.
But
Stafford has Super Bowl. Okay, fine, whatever. But look at his overall record. I guarantee it's worse than Matt Ryan's.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the MVP, right?
Right.
No,
he doesn't.
No. So I don't know.
I just pissed off one of our owners in this league by talking bad about that guy. So I apologize.
Yeah, you called him a borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah, true.
Hold on. Yeah. So that's it. We'll keep the memorial candle going, the torch. We got the nice memorial back here. That's all I had on that situation.
All right.
But I have something else for you guys right now.
Oh, right now? Okay.
I don't know if I can find where this is.
You're done talking.
Do you guys know? Did I find it? Yes, I did. Do you guys? Okay, if I shared it because Detroit shared the thing about the Lions having the number one pick right now if the season ended right now.
Right.
So the Lions have pick one. Texans have pick 2. The Panthers have pick 3. Do you guys know who has pick 4 right now?
I have no idea.
No.
Right now, this is fascinating. Picks 4 through 6 are fascinating. Number 4 belongs to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, wow.
Because of the Saints. Number 5 belongs to the Houston Texans because of the Browns. Number 6 belongs to the Seattle Seahawks because of the Broncos.
Wow.
So it is very rare that these first round trades end up with these good draft picks. So pretty interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, one more thing, and then I can go on we can grind some gears maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. I have 2 interesting prop bets for you that I think might be worth some money. Do you know what the Atlanta Falcons are right now to win the division? Take a guess.
I would say plus 500.
They are plus 400 right now to win the division.
That's a good guess.
It's not terrible when you consider it was a good guess. When you see their upcoming schedule and what they could do for that bet to be, even money, you only have to be right 25% of the time. That's how these odds work. That's kind of interesting to me with what's going on in Tampa. Now, my next one. Do you know what the Arizona Cardinals are to win the division?
I don't even know.
Take a guess.
Plus 900?
I was going to say plus 600.
Okay, this makes me feel better. The Arizona Cardinals right now, last I looked, are plus 1,100 to win the division.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is good value to me.
Wow, yeah.
Yes, that is good value to me.
Well, it might be good value, but we do know who their coach is, right?
Their coach is their coach, but getting Hopkins back, we'll see.
Yeah. And that division isn't what we thought it was going to be so far. I mean, the Seahawks. I mean, who would have thought that?
When you bet these, you don't, especially
Right.
plus 1100, you don't bet them to win. You bet
Right.
for the value of it. It's hard
I
for
gotcha.
people to understand sometimes. Okay. That's all I have from the NFL reactions. I wanted to get over the draft picks. I wanted to memorialize my dude and pour one out for him and go over those odds.
All right.
Let's grind some gears.
Oh boy. All right, it's time. Okay. This week's segment, and I'm sorry, people, I know you were dying to hear it last week, but I couldn't be there. I was in the most awful place in the world, also known as Columbus, Ohio, where that awful college has to pronounce their university as the. Anyways, and they even trademarked it. All right, I got off subject there. Sorry. This week we're really close to Halloween. Are we not? We love Halloween,
We
right?
are.
We love
do.
going and trick or treating and getting all your treats and all that. Well, as an adult, I think we have a responsibility. Don't be the parents or the house that hands out crappy ass candy. You know, how many times did you go back to the house, you empty your bag, and you see like god awful Good and Plenty or hard candy or those wafers? I don't even know what they're called. Do you know what I'm talking about? They taste like cough syrup.
Are you talking about the Nico? wafers?
Yeah, Nico wafers. Yes.
Oh, I like
I
those.
like those.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or you get like someone was so cheap they bought the double bubble and they give it a whole handful of that. That's the worst gum in the world. Just don't
like
be
that
that
too.
person. Gosh, Phil. I mean, where'd you grow up at?
West Virginia,
I know, but what city? I can't remember.
Georgia Creek,
Maybe
just next door to Campbell's Creek, where you grew up, or where you lived for a while. I guess.
I was gonna say I did not grow up there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just aggravates me the people that just give out the real crappy candy. It just we can't be like that. We know how it feels when you open that bag and see that candy, and you got most of it's crappy ass candy.
What about people that give out like shit like toothbrushes and stuff? I mean, come on.
Oh, those are the. I don't ever recall getting anything like that.
I don't think I did, but I feel like it happens though. You know.
I kind of remember getting like pennies. Somebody would give you pennies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's just just a little aggravation. And one thing I wish they would also get rid of is when you had little Halloween parties at schools and stuff. Bobbing for apples was the most grossest thing ever.
Yeah. That's
I just found it always.
I've never done it.
Oh, it's disgusting. Just imagine 30 kids already going through there trying to bite an apple and getting all their crap all over inside of it. Oof. But anyways, so all you listeners out there, make sure you pass out some good candy. Don't be cheap.
Hook up the kids.
Yeah.
Full size bars.
Well,
There you go.
I mean, some people can't afford that.
Let's go hard.
Except for those that live out in South Hills, go with the rich people.
There you go.
the evil empire. Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. I
that's
like
just
it.
my little grind my gears this week.
Okay. I like it. Now let's stay in theme with what we're talking about with Halloween and stuff and trick or treating. We have some teams so far in the NFL that have surprised us with how good they've done, and we have some that have surprised us with how poorly it's gone so far. So we can hit on each team. I have schedules pulled up if we want them, as far as what they've done so far and what they have going forward. So we're going to do trick or treat on some of these teams. We'll start off with the positive ones because we like to end on a negative note here on the KDFL podcast. So we'll start on the positive ones. Treat if you think they'll keep it going. Trick if you think they've just been outperforming where they should go so far. Let's go ahead and start off with the 6-1, 6-1 New York Giants, Detroit. What do you think?
Well, I had to go and look at strength of schedule left. And I went to Tankathon. I don't know if anybody uses that site.
Tankathon, yes.
Yeah, some of these toughest opponents and easiest opponents I don't kind of agree with, but that says they have the sixth toughest schedule. I guess they have 2 games with the Eagles. Seahawks and Colts, they're also considering tough opponents. I'm not sure. I actually think this is a treat. I think that this team is built right, even though they both rank 19th in offense and 19th in defense. I think they're believing in this coach, and I think this team's playing really well together. So I think they'll make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win the division because obviously the Eagles, but the NFC is wide open. It really is. So I think this team is a treat for sure.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree on the Giants. I mean, their wins so far have been kind of a mixed bag. I mean, there's been some good teams, but then there's been some pretty bad teams that they beat too, like the Bears. Um, only held them to 12 points though, so that's pretty good. I mean, even though it is the Bears. But I mean, yeah, they're already at six wins. You said, yeah, 6 wins.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
6-1.
that's it. I mean, they're off to a pretty good start. Even if they go on like a 3 or 4 game losing streak, they're still going to be over 500 this early in the season. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they're going to be pretty good or a decent team at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree just because of how they're built in the coaching staff. They do have Houston, the Lions, 2 games against the Commanders. Who knows what the Colts will look like now? They're on the schedule still, and then some tough games against Dallas on Thanksgiving and the Eagles twice and the Vikings. So, but yeah, as far as making the playoffs, I mean, they got such a head start right now. It'd be kind of nuts to miss, I think, in the weak
Yeah.
NFC.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, we're off the ground and running. Next, I have the other team from New York, the New York Jets.
All right. The Jets, they say they have like the 11th toughest schedule out there. But what I think is key to this team is their defense. I believe their defense is 10th in the league. They got some really good playmakers on that. I still don't think their division, besides the Bills, are tough. I know that they got the Dolphins and the Patriots, but I'm kind of questioning myself. I was gonna say treat, but I think I'm gonna go with trick. And the only reason why is I think the AFC has a lot of tough teams in it. I just can't believe in the quarterback right now. How's that? So I would go trick for right now. But I think they're heading in the right direction. It's not the same old Jets.
We'll get to that. Phil.
I think I'm going to go treat on this one because I think they can get at least 6 wins with what they got left. They've got the Patriots again. They've got the Bears, Lions. I think the Lions are better than what they're playing and their record. That could be a tough game, but I still think they'll beat them. The Jaguars, I feel like they're kind of similar. They could be better than what they are. And then at Seattle, that is going to be a tough one probably. I still think they're a lot better than the Seahawks, but not a lot better, but better than the Seahawks. So that could be a tough one. Then they finish out the Dolphins. That could be a loss. But I could see 6 wins out of that.
Okay. So 6 wins puts them at 11-6 on the season. You know me, I wanted to bet that they would not finish last in the division this year. Right now, they're at second. They're in second. I don't think they'll stay that high. I think the Dolphins will catch them. I don't know if the Patriots will. The Patriots seem like a mess right now. So I'm going to go treat, but very modest expectations. I think they will sneak into like the 7th seed in the playoffs. Now, real quick, let me ask you this, since I just brought up the Giants. Say we have a healthy Breece Hall right now, Giants or Jets? Detroit.
I'm going Giants just because they don't need the NFC.
Phil.
Yeah, I'd say Giants as well.
See, the Jets have I think the Jets have better playmakers all around on defense and offense, but the Giants have better coaching. So I'll go Giants as well. Detroit with a great point about the NFC versus AFC as well.
Can we pin that? Can we pin that somewhere? You just said I made a great point.
What time was that? What time was
All right. Next, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to switch up the order just by one here. Let's go with the Minnesota Vikings. Currently sitting at an impressive 5-1. They're coming off their bye week now. Detroit.
I'm going Trick. Sorry, Keith. I hate to do that to your team. And it's not because of Cousins. It really isn't. This team right now is ranked 27th on defense and I believe 18th on offense. Yeah. So they're just not getting it done right now. Their strength of schedule is 10th, but they got the Giants, the Bills, Cowboys, Jets, and Colts. They're considered their toughest opponents. I guess, being in the NFC, they could sneak into the playoffs, but I don't believe in them. Maybe it's because I'm a Lions fan and I hate the Vikings, but I don't know. I'm just not a believer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go treat on this. I know, like you were saying, they're near the bottom in both offense and defense, but I feel like they're beating the teams they should beat so far. And the division is it's not great. The Packers are just terrible.
Yeah.
So the Bears
That's
suck.
true.
Justin Fields. The Lions, I feel like, are underachieving. They could turn it around. Who knows? So I think the division is weak enough for them to win it.
Yeah, I apologize. I totally forgot that the Packers are crap. Yeah, so they'll definitely make the playoffs.
The playoffs is one, but are they gonna do anything in the playoffs?
No, I don't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we need to.
Because it can't just be playoffs. Because some of these guys have a huge head start right now. For the Giants and Jets, I give just the playoffs because of how much of a shock this is. So I would give the playoffs as the bar for them. But a team like the Vikings, they were
okay. Well, I just wanted to clarify. I was not saying they're not going to make the playoffs.
By the way, anyone want to guess what rank Kirk Cousins is quarterback in fantasy right now? Where do you think he'd be? Just think of him. Where do you think he'd be?
I'm going to say like 9.
It's Kirk Cousins. He's 16th. Dead middle. He is the bar.
Well, because you were leading in like that, I thought he was going to be ranked higher.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. Okay. So there is the Vikings. Now, I guess their offense is so good. Their offense should be loaded. I'm going to go. I think they'll get in the playoffs and win a game, and I think that's it. I think they will win one game. I can't believe I'm saying that. Kirk Cousins in the playoffs in prime time. I'll put him in the playoffs and winning.
Well, it might not be prime time. It might be that afternoon game.
It's that Saturday afternoon, man. That's what he needs. All right. This one seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
But there is some nuance to it. Trick or treat, Eagles are the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. Let's go that far with it.
Oh, okay.
I have to switch it up because obviously we all think they're going to keep up this steam. So I have to switch it up a little.
I'm a believer because I picked them number 1 this year in my predictions in the NFC. I have to keep hitting on that because I'm not right that often. But anyways, I'm going to say treat. I can see it happening. I really can. I think they made a big trade today. So shoring up that defense, getting that a little bit more pass rush. So I'm definitely going to say treat.
Yeah, I've got to agree. They've looked better than any other team in the NFC, I feel like. And I think their schedule doesn't look that difficult, really, the rest of the way either.
That's why I had to move it up to the Super Bowl representative.
Yeah.
Because their schedule going away is easy.
Titans, maybe a tough one. At the Giants, that could be a good one.
They got 2 with the Giants left.
Yeah. Dallas, that could always be a tough one. Who knows? But overall, I mean, like they should pretty much roll the rest of the way. I feel like. But I'm gonna go treat Super Bowl. Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Hmm. I don't think they're going to lose. I think 3 to 4 games is their max loss. I would say it'd be hard to find 4 losses in their remaining schedule. Um, yeah, they got both with the Giants looks tougher now than what it did at the beginning of the season. But it still nags on me. I guess they beat the Cowboys, but that was without full strength Cowboys. I still want to see them in the playoffs with a tough defense. But I don't know if they'll run into that tough defense in the NFC like I knew they would going into the season. I thought the Rams, the Bucks, even the Saints, I thought would have very formidable defenses. It's you can't pick against the Eagles right now. So yeah, we'll go treat on them, I guess. Very hard to pick against them. Okay, let's go to the other side now. This is switched up. If you think the downside is going to continue, we'll go treat. If you think that they're not as bad as they've been, then it's been a trick. So starting up first, we will go with the Tampa Bay Bucks sitting at 3-4, tied with Hot Atlanta for the division lead right now. Go ahead, Detroit. I'll let you take it away because I got stuff.
Oh man, this Tampa team is just that offensive line is not good. Their strength of schedule they says is 28th, but I really don't see a lot of wins on here. They have their tough games: Bengals, Ravens, Seahawks, Rams. Okay, I can see that. But their easy opponents, they got the Panthers, who they just lost to, Saints, Browns. I don't know when Watson's coming back. They got the Falcons again. The Cardinals, I think, are getting better.
Back for that.
And then San Francisco, I think that pass rush will get to Brady with that offensive line. So I'm going to say that this is – what am I saying again? If I don't think they're going to turn around, it's a –
Treat. Hard for you to say.
Yeah, I hate to say it. It's a treat. I know everybody watching this is loving it. But
yeah.
I don't know what to make of the Bucks. I mean, I know it's Tom Brady leading the team, but I mean, does he have anything left? I don't know. Their receivers, Godwin hasn't really got going a whole lot. I know he's been hurt. I mean, I don't know.
It's funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
yeah, go for it.
I was just looking and like Brady still he's 9th in completion percentage. He's like 6th in yards and 9th in quarterback rating. So I mean, for most people that's pretty good. But when you're watching them, it just doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't. It's almost like they're not playing as a team or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the Brady thing is a black cloud over the team, you know what I mean?
It's like when that Mike Evans play happened, like at the beginning and just dropped the wide open touchdown. It's like the team just fell apart from right there and never recovered. So, I mean, you can't lose the Steelers and the Panthers.
Right.
You just can't.
I still think, what are we doing, playoffs or not? I mean, like, how are we judging this one, right?
For this team, I think you got to do playoffs and a win.
Playoffs and a win?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
because of the division. I mean,
they'll get a home game, but still, I don't see it. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think
you know what you're saying if you think they're not making the playoffs.
I think one of those 3 shitty teams are going to make the playoffs.
Now, let me give you this dream scenario. Look at that schedule, boys. Look at that last game on it. Look at that week 18 in Atlanta. Imagine if Brady's career, after all the crap he's gave Atlanta, I never beat him, the roughing the passer. Think about this. Real quick side note, think about this. I hate when people say they cost Atlanta the game because we still had to come down and score a touchdown. It's very iffy. Obviously, we're not an offensive juggernaut. But if that call doesn't happen and we would somehow pull out the win, they would have lost 5 in a row. They'd be 2-5 right now. But let's just say if Atlanta can hang around somehow, maybe we figure out how to get the ball to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and we win some of these games because our schedule isn't that tough. And it comes down to Brady's career. If we could end his career in Atlanta after never beating him, oh my Lord! I couldn't even put in words how sad it is about how happy it would make me feel. But
Brett's
that's
gonna
where
need
it
to
ends.
Take a second,
Thomas.
go off screen.
I'll tell you
for
right
a
now.
second
I really think whoever wins that division is winning with a losing record.
It's possible.
Yeah,
I can see
that.
it. It's happened before. I think it happened in 2014, maybe. I think it may have happened in 2014. I think they'll win the division. I do. I don't know that Atlanta will be able to hang with them. If you made me tell you what I thought was going to happen, they're going to win the division, so they'll get in. And then once Brady's in the playoffs, I think I'm being tricked right here because I think they will get in and win one game. I'm not trying to reverse jinx. I've just seen this story so many times, but my heart is telling me this dude is DONE done. It's over. He's cooked. He doesn't have an offensive line. I think him and Rodgers both should have left. They look miserable, but I've just been fooled so many times. All right, next up. God, if I get that game in Atlanta, if it means anything, it'll be amazing. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams at 3-3, Super Bowl champs. And I got to be honest, real quick side note, I feel like they haven't played. I haven't seen them play since like September 25th or say October 3rd versus the Niners, I guess. Like, I feel like I just haven't heard from them. I know they played like 3 games since then. I don't remember the Cowboys game. I don't know why.
Yeah, this team, I don't know. They just something doesn't look right. Stafford doesn't look right. The offense is struggling. They're 26 right now. Defense is 5th in the league, so they're pretty much carrying them. Their schedule ranked is 23rd right now. Left strength of schedule. They got the Chiefs, the Chargers, and Seahawks twice. That's considering their toughest games. So, with that said, and even though they're struggling, I think that they could still make the playoffs. So I think this is a trick. Is that how I'm saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's very confusing.
All right.
Yeah. Phil.
Yeah, I'm gonna go trick as well. I mean, defending champs. Is Stafford okay though? I mean, you think he's hurt or something? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he don't look
think he's
good.
actually hurt.
You think he's actually hurt? Yeah, I mean,
I think he's legitimately hurt. I think we called that from week 1 here that there's something actually wrong.
They just haven't looked like they've clicked at all this season. I feel like even in their wins, I mean, they're just okay. Like their highest scoring game was against the Falcons. They scored 31, but they only won by 4 in that one.
I just lost that. Yeah.
Their biggest, I guess, point spread was against the Panthers, 24-10. They only scored 24 in that game. I don't know. I feel like they should just be an explosive offense with the players that they have, and it's just not happening. But I think they're going to turn it around. So I'm going to go trick.
I am going to go treat on the Rams because I think they might make the playoffs as like a 7 or 6 seed, but I think they get bounced early because I think the Niners, I don't know why. The Niners, I feel, as a freaking powerhouse, especially if they do the signing that I've suggested that they do. Right? But I think Stafford something's actually wrong with him. The cup stuff doesn't work this year like it did last year. They don't have that second option. Maybe Van Jefferson's coming back this week, so maybe you will start to see that bloom a little bit. But if that doesn't pan out, the running game, Cam Akers is done there. You're not seeing them again at all. So without major changes, I think they're in deep trouble. Okay.
How many more we got of this?
2 more.
Gosh.
4-4. Life's about balance. Next
we'll make the weekend.
we have.
Yeah.
No, dude, I got guys. I am the eternal timer, dude. I have it all in my head. We're pacing just fine. Next up, the evilest franchise and the dumbest franchise in the history of sports. They will lie to you, tell you anything to get your beloved in the door. The Indianapolis Colts. Detroit. Does Ellinger make the difference? Can they still win the division? Let's set that the bar. Win the division for them.
Brett's really offended by the
Really
Colts right
keep it
now.
going. I'm not offended by the Colts and the fans, but Frank Wright and Chris Ballard, dead to me. Dead.
Wow. Okay.
Dead.
I'm gonna say this is. Gosh, I'm getting this confused every time.
I love you get confused every time.
Oh man,
It's a trick. They're not making the playoffs. Did I say that
It
right?
would be a treat. then.
that treat.
It's a treat.
Yeah, a treat. Yeah.
Okay.
If it
What
keeps
about-
going, it's a treat. If it
Okay.
changes, it's a treat.
It's gonna keep going. I don't like that this quarterback situation. What they're doing. They have the 7th toughest schedule left, so that doesn't help. Jonathan Taylor doesn't seem like the Jonathan Taylor of last year. So yeah, it's a treat.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because this is my Super Bowl pick. I put too much faith,
It's KD
too much
Colts.
faith in Matt Ryan. Yeah, no, it's Matt Ryan. It's not the team. It's Matt Ryan. That's all it is.
The team.
It's Matt Ryan. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I know we started the show honoring him, but
If
That's what
it's
it is.
Matt Ryan, then this would be a trick, Phil, and you could predict them to turn it around since they handled that problem.
okay. I mean, you got me there. But I don't think the backup. But I don't think the backup quarterback's any better. So
Yeah.
it's a treat. I mean, they're not gonna turn it around. They're done.
I just don't know who's gonna knock them off, man. Titans, maybe. I mean, Jaguars have fallen apart. They've only got 2 wins, and the Texans are the Texans. I think they're gonna. I think they still win the division, and I don't like it. Like I think this could be both South divisions, NFC and AFC, could end with a sub 500 record making the playoffs. So I guess I'm saying trick, but this schedule is terrible that they have left. But I just don't. Sam Ellinger, that offensive line was obviously not as advertised. I've been joking about it, but that is seriously the issue. But Ellinger is mobile, so maybe he can stay alive long enough to make a little bit of an impact. All right, last up, and we're out of here with these Denver Broncos.
I'm leaning back, taking a rest in here.
Denver Broncos 2-5 right now. There is no worse QB situation in the NFL when you factor in what they gave up than the Broncos and what they've gotten out of it. So Detroit, do you think they turn this around, or do you think that this is a treat and this is how it is?
This is a treat. This is how it is. AFC is too tough. The only thing that they got going for them is they have the 2nd-rated defense, but that
Exactly.
offense is awful. I just don't see them turning this around. So they're just going to let's ride it right to the golf course this offseason. There's going to be no postseason for them. So.
Phil,
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. It's a treat. I don't know. Russell Wilson is just looking terrible. The team overall is looking terrible. I don't remember when I picked them to begin the season, but I don't think it was great. And I just didn't think they were a great team to begin with. So I think this is going to continue.
if I think they will look better because it's hard to look worse, but I think that division is so stacked with decent to great teams that they'll not be able to get their way out of it. They don't have a weak spot in the division. The Raiders, I think, will continue to improve. Chargers, I don't even want to talk about them. They're so frustrating, but they are still a very talented team, and of course the Chiefs. So I think they'll end. If you have to give me their ending record, I'm going to say 8-9 in that area, which won't get them. It'll be better than what they've been doing, but it's not going to be enough to get them over the hump. All right. Oh, real quick, just say one word: Seahawks, trick or treat. Do you keep it going, or do you think that this has just been a fun little ride that ends?
I think it's a fun little ride that ends.
Phil?
Yeah. Trick. Yeah, same.
All right. Okay. All right. And last one, Packers, turn it around, yes or no? Detroit.
No. Trick
Phil?
or treat.
It's
Sure.
it's over. It's over. Rodgers is done after this. It's over.
Yeah.
God, it's just so hard to, finally think you put the stake in the heart and that they're actually done. So, all right. There we go, boys. Not bad. Not bad little Halloween trick or treat segment. We made it through.
Yeah, we only did 25%
All right,
of the league. Let's do the other 75%.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, let's keep going. Why not?
Don't tip me. Now, here we go. KDFL Week 8. Our picks last week. Detroit, do you want to go over these or do you want me to do it?
I'll go ahead and do it. I was
Okay.
pulling something up real
No,
quick.
you're fine. You're fine. Me and Detroit both went 4-2. Phil went 3-3. Detroit is 30-12 overall. I am
Woo.
24-18. And Phil is 23-19. Guest celebrity picker Angry Matt Smith went 5-1, and including predicting the Kings' initial win. So kudos to that. Well done. All right. First up, we'll go to Detroit and then Phil. But first up, we have those aforementioned Kings coming hot off the press with a win, traveling to Roxalana to take on the 4-3 Renegades. What say you, Detroit?
All right, so the Renegades are a 33-point favorite in this game. How bad is it that when I was doing research on this game, I had no idea the County Kings had Josh Jacobs on their team?
It's a trade deadline thing, I believe.
Was it? Obviously, Matt must have traded it to him, I guess.
Yes, I believe so.
So that's pretty much all the Kings have on offense, even though Geno Smith is number 7 fantasy quarterback right now. I'm shocked that Jacobs is number 4 running back. But the Renegades, they're going to probably get DeAndre Swift back this week, so they'll have Montgomery, Taylor, and Swift. I think the Renegades are going to actually win this one. Sorry, Tim, your win streak's going to end at 1.
Yeah,
Phil.
I'm just gonna keep these simple. Brett, I'll let you do some more talking. I'm gonna go Renegades. Kings are gonna go to 1-7. So
I would like to reiterate again that we are not pressed for time, just so you all know.
I'm just
Some of
keeping
us
it,
might
my
be.
notes, I do have one.
just keeping it normal like I always
You're
do. you know?
good. You're good. Look at this. I do have a question mark. Is Swift coming back? I guess Detroit, you're pretty confident in that he is making the return.
Well, today was his first full practice back.
Okay, so it looks good. The Renegades at 4-3. It'd be very impressive if they come through these injury problems with Montgomery, with Taylor missing some, and Swift, because they're built around these 3 running backs. We've talked about it. If they can come out of here winning this week and improving to 5-3, that's a nice way to kind of sell through these injuries that they've suffered through. And finally, the Kings only have one chance to win, and that is on the back of me and Tim's favorite player, Taylor Heineke. You gotta let him cook. You gotta let him toss that rock against the Colts, because it is a fun ride. It is a wild ride, and he has to have the opportunity. I think Rivera is absolutely terrible. I think that he is 2 decades too late, for the offense he wants to run. So I think the Renegades win this game and improve to 5-3. Next up, the Wampus Cats. 3-4, taking on the 3-4 Lumberjacks of Phillip. Detroit, take it away.
The Wampus Cats are a 4-point favorite going into this game. I'll be anxious to see St. Brown for the Lions if he can get back on a roll. His last 2 games, granted, he did get hurt, but he only had 6 points in the one and only 2 in the other. So I'm going to be anxious to see how he rebounds. Looking at Phil's team, Aaron Jones, I think Green Bay, like you said earlier, they finally figured out they just need to keep giving that guy the ball. Trevor Lawrence, surprising, number 10 rated quarterback in fantasy football. Looking at this game, I mean, there's just some good matchups and everything. Even though Phil's a slight underdog, I'm going to pick him this week, and so he can stay in the playoff race.
Oh,
Yeah, my team is just terrible, and I'm gonna go the other way to make it easier on myself to go ahead and sell. So I don't have to think about it too much. The Wampus Cats are gonna get the win here. I'm gonna go to 3-5, and
Wait, are you selling before this week's game starts?
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
well, okay. I'm looking at this matchup here. Obviously, with the benching of Matt Ryan, the Lumberjacks have QB issues. They only have Trevor Lawrence, from what I can tell, on this team to play quarterback for him. The interesting thing about this matchup to me is every running back that's slated to start right now kind of has a tough matchup. You have Walker gets the Giants. That's not easy. Pollard gets Chicago. Tough D-line there. although Quinn is gone now. Aaron Jones gets Buffalo. That's one of the better D lines, and Nick Chubb gets Cincy. So I could see this being tough on that position. So when I look elsewhere, and I look at the defenses, and the Lumberjacks seem to outrank the Wampus Cats in a lot of areas there. So I think the Lumberjacks are going to win, and I think it's going to be via the defense. All right. Next up, we have the undefeated Dobermans hosting my beloved Melbourne Mega Powers.
Yeah, this I was looking at this matchup. I mean, you don't have very many check marks when it goes to projections here, especially on offense. I mean, I guess you're used to that. It's going to be tough. I'm anxious to see McCaffrey now with the Dobermans and now with the Niners, how his role is going to be. Him going against the Rams, who got a nice defense. That's going to be interesting. And Dak going against Chicago, even though Chicago's not the greatest, they do have a decent defense. So, and he's your best player. Well, I guess Mark Andrews would be your best. I just don't see you being able to hang this week. So I'm going to go with the Dobermans.
Bill.
Yeah, I agree on this one. I think there's just too much difference in the talent level here. I'm kind of surprised that he's 7-0. I mean, I thought he was going to be good this year, but that's a really good start. And you're struggling a little bit right now, so I'm going to go Dobermans here for the win.
All right. I was fed a little birdie told me last night to make sure I mentioned that if you go back to last season, the Dobermans have won 12 in a row of regular season matchups.
Wow.
So interesting little tidbit there. My notes for this, I need an intense look at Dak Prescott. He's going to start looking a little bit better because he has not looked good in his one game before he hurt himself and his one game back since. So we're going to be looking at that. The first full CMC game, see how Shanahan uses him. Very interested in that. And the wide receivers for Melbourne have a chance. The wide receivers, Devontae Smith, Drake London, Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Jones, all have to show up. I don't see it happening, but I would love to give the Dobermans their first loss. But for pick's sake, integrity of the show, I have to go Dobermans. All right, next up, we have the Commission's Evil Empire hosting the On Fire Nocatee Zen Masters.
Yes, after starting out 0-3, the Zen Masters have won 4 in a row. Unfortunately, they have to play the Evil Empire this week. Look at the roster. I am shocked when I look down and see Mariota is a higher scoring fantasy quarterback than Derek Carr. I was not expecting to see that. I guess that's the kind of season Carr has been having. Yeah, there's not really much to say. The Evil Empire, on their offense, they've got 4 players that are in top 5 in their position rankings. I mean, it's just ridiculous how good this team is. So Evil Empire, whatever. We even have to cover their games.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Evil Empire's got too much talent in this matchup. And with Mariota, I mean, that's why I drafted that guy. I think 2nd overall back in the day, like 2013 or something. He was supposed to be the greatest thing. Him and Jameis Winston were supposed to be the greatest things since, like, I don't know, Andrew Luck a couple years earlier.
Slice bread, Phil.
What is it? Sliced bread. No, I was going to try to name a player. But I think, didn't Andrew Luck come after that, though?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes. I don't know. No.
Who knows? It was about the same time. We're close to it. Anyway,
No, it's not who knows.
It doesn't matter.
We know.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. Just move on.
Oh, all right. Jalen Hurts is off the bye. He gets Pittsburgh. Now, Zen Masters are having the perfect season for somebody that loaded up on draft picks. You start slow and you ramp up as your rookies get more time. This is how it's supposed to look. So that's good to see for them. He is going with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota because Jameis is oh yeah, of course. Jameis is not Jameis is not getting the start. I thought this was a defensive advantage for the Zen Masters until the Evil Empire tinkered with their lineup a little bit, and they've seemed to come back on that. So I have to go with the Evil Empire, picking against the Zen Masters again. I think I've maybe picked them to win 1 out of these 4 that they've rattled off. So possibly a good omen for them that we all win against them. And if they can win this, then they have fully arrived. Then it is on. So that'll be
Okay.
interesting to see. Next, we have the River Rats hosting the River Rats coming off a 2-game win streak, hosting
Ooh.
the Pharmacist.
Yes. My team is a 6-point underdog. The Pharmacists come in losing 3 out of 4 games. They're 4-3 on the season. Looking at the matchups, it looks like they clearly have a bunch of offensive advantages. My wide receiver core is just so weak right now. It's very thin. I'm having to start Chris Moore from the Texans. That's how bad it is. But hey, how about that mustard running back guy I got?
Dude.
He's actually looked really well. Pierce has looked good. I still get Singletary that starts, and I guess Henderson's going to be the starter for the Rams. So running back situation isn't too awful for us. I don't know how this is going to happen because my team just has holes all over the place. But somehow, I think my team's going to pull off an upset this week. Somehow,
Bill?
some way, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. So you're probably not going to pull
What?
off the upset.
Nope, it ain't happening now.
I like Lamar, of course, against the Bucks. I think he'll have a pretty good game there. I mean, Damian Pierce is looking good. You were talking about Mustard, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, I mean, Chris Moore, that's definitely a weakness for sure. But Herb Smith, I mean, I feel like if he gets a touchdown, he has a good week. I mean, it's touchdown or bust for him.
Yeah.
So if he gets a touchdown against the Cardinals, I think you're looking good. Just not sure about a couple of his players. Mike Evans, I mean, we talked about the Bucks. They're just not looking right for some reason. Russell Wilson, not looking too great. Yeah, I'm going to go River Rats.
All right. Looking at this, River Rats, of course, winning 2 in a row. Like I said, the wide receivers of the Pharmacist are the calling card guys. Diggs in prime time. I know he'll get Alexander, whatever, but I like him in prime time. He seems to always want to show out in those games. Mike Evans, the Baltimore secondary is trash, and everybody else is hurt for Tampa. So I think this could be one of his boom games. And I love DeAndre Hopkins in the second game back, getting that crappy secondary in Minnesota. So I have that written down as the huge matchup advantage. And I got to say, I do not know that I knew that Chris Moore existed as a person until 2 minutes ago. That
Awesome.
seems like a placeholder of a randomly drafted person when you're 12 seasons deep in Madden. So,
well, he's owned by 0.1% in
most-
the league or in the
Yeah.
ESPN league.
So, I have Mostert has been rolling. He has to keep it up. But again, Cousins getting that Arizona defense, I think he could be the difference, and how sweet it would be for Cousins to be the reason why Detroit loses. So I am going to go with the Pharmacists. Now, our final game, a game of the week. This is the 2-5, probably one of the worst records to ever be in the game of the week. 2-5 Midnight Riders traveling to the Cross Vegas Gamblers, who are at 4-3. I'm sure Detroit will hit on it. There is a very obvious reason why this is the game of the week. Detroit, take it away.
And that is because the Gamblers are a 0.1 favorite.
That's
Over
like
the
my
Midnight
connection right there. We didn't practice that. That was awesome.
Looking at this matchup, I like Mike's wide receivers. I mean, obviously he has the best depth in this league. He has the advantage there. I'm not sold on Brady right now. Fournette, I'm shocked, is the 6th ranked running back. I never would have thought that. He's only averaging 3.5 yards a carry, by the way. But Mike's weakness is his running backs, but I think his receivers are going to carry him this week. So I'm going to take the Midnight Riders.
Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike's team goes as Aaron Rodgers goes this season. Rodgers hasn't looked good. Mike's team hasn't looked good. Will the Buffalo game turn them around? I don't know, because, I mean, that could be – they're going to have to put up some points to stay with him. Will he find some connections with some receivers? Hopefully. I think he may just for this game, so I'm going to go Midnight Riders, but then I think the Packers are still done, like I was saying earlier. So Midnight Riders.
All right. All right. This is Tyler Algier's last week to kind of shine, I think, right now, because Patterson should be back the week after for Atlanta. Midnight Riders have had awful luck. They're way up there in points scored. I think they're top 3 or 4 in points scored, but they have been just running into bad matchup after bad matchup. And now he gets the Gamblers on Eckler's bye week, which is Eckler's the key main piece to his entire team. Cook gets Arizona too. And Arizona's defense, as we said, is really extremely bad. And the last thing, I think AJ Terrell might be out for the Falcons, and that means DJ Moore, who had a good week last week and the first week without Christian McCaffrey, might be running free on that terrible Atlanta secondary the same way the Bengals exposed them. So for that reason, I have to go with the Gamblers. I am against you guys in 2 matchups, against you 2, and in 1 matchup we're against Phil. So a little bit more shakeup this week because there's a little bit closer matchups. Like to see it.
Like it.
Yeah.
Like to see it. You know what I mean? I railed against it this week, but I don't like the league polarization. I like when everybody seems to have a chance, they think. So, all right, Detroit. Oh, let me get on this real quick. Our locks of the week. We went 6 for 8 last week. Our best week so far in the season. Matt went 1 for 1. I nailed the Commanders, and then I also nailed the Commanders upset and what's the point spread I did? Oh, the Browns getting 6.5 against the Ravens. Divisional games. I told you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Detroit nailed the Chiefs, giving San Francisco 3, and the Giants over the Jags. And Phil nailed the Jets +1 or -1, whatever it ended up being, over Denver. So Detroit, say your goodbyes and give us your locks and upset of the week.
All right, this week my upset is the Giants -3 against the Seahawks. I was a little surprised to see that line, but I as I talked earlier, I'm a believer in the Giants right now, and not so much in the Seahawks. So I'm going with them. And then my lock of the week is -1.5, the Raiders over the Saints. And as it got to point at the right thing. And as always, as it says behind me, Brett, you suck.
I'm in mourning and you do this to me. Phil, what do we have?
Shameful. I kind of mentioned it earlier. Packers Bills 47.5. I'm going to go over as my lock. I think Rodgers is at least going to try to hang with Josh Allen in this game. So I think that could be high scoring. Unless there's like snow or something. I don't know how the weather's going to be this weekend, honestly. I probably should have looked at that before I said it. Okay. I didn't write down my upset. Let me find it real quick. Hold on. Good stuff. Good stuff.
This is amazing.
Okay. Oh yeah. Giants. Seahawks are -3. I'm gonna go Giants, getting the upset there in Seattle.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
you pick that one? Did you pick that one?
Nope, not me. The guy that just talked.
Okay. Let me find it. That's why it threw me off.
He's good.
Okay.
He's gonna pick mine, Detroit. Watch.
I was gonna say, tell me what you picked, but then that'll give it away.
Nope. I want this moment.
Okay. I can't remember what you said in the chat.
Oh,
Okay.
I want this moment so bad.
I'm gonna go Commanders. With the upset of the Colts.
Fine.
Colts -3. I mean, I feel like that's generous, honestly. So I'm gonna go Commanders with the upset. And as always, you can follow the show on Twitter at KDFL Podcast. You can follow Brett at BrettStill2. You can follow Detroit at Detroit8374, and you can follow me at Phil Ruxy. And go ahead right now and like this video and follow us on Twitter. Or not Twitter, YouTube.
Nice. I
Boom.
like it.
Yes. My lock of the week. I've been pretty hot on Thursday night games. I think I'm 2 for 2 on this season so far. I don't believe the Bucs yet. I think this is too quick of a turnaround after getting beat down like they did by the Panthers. So I like the Ravens -1 at Tampa. And then for my upset, I talked a lot about it. I like the Cardinals getting 4 and beating the Vikings outright. Now, the other pick I was dealing with are good, but the lock is the Cardinals. I wanted to go Lions.
That's who I thought you were going because you mentioned
I wanted to go Lions getting 3.5, just outright beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins didn't look that good last week, so that'll probably be on my card. But as far as for this thing, upset of the week, Cardinals over Vikings. So For Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Captain Phil Bruxy, that's it for this week, and we will see you next week right here on the KDFL Fantasy Football